Hello and welcome to another episode of Living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection. And it's that time of the month. The numbers are out for the Tucson Housing Market Report for July 2024. I'm going to go over what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. Hello, my name's Tyler Ford, Tucson, Arizona with eXp Realty. And again, welcome to another episode. And the big question is, what's going on here in the Tucson housing market? Are we going up, down, or sideways? And what's going on with home prices? So whether you're a buyer or a seller, this video is for you to keep you educated so you can make a good decision when it comes to buying or selling residential real estate here in Tucson, Arizona. Before I dive into what's going on here in the Tucson housing market, I first like to cover mortgage rates to keep you informed as to what's going on with mortgage rates. And this last week in the market had a pretty rough go. Some numbers came out, unemployment, job reports, and they were not all that great. And as a result, the market pulled back substantially. And the FOMC meeting was prior to a lot of these numbers coming out, and the feds did not do anything. They stayed neutral, but a lot of people are saying they should have lowered rates. So we're anticipating we could get some rate cuts here in the near future. But as a result, right now on a 30-year fixed, we are sitting at 6.73%. And on a 15-year fixed, we're sitting at 5.99%. And so heading into the election year, I don't anticipate seeing rates move up. We're going to go sideways and potentially down from here. So again, we'll see what the feds do, but there's a good chance they could slightly lower rates in the next month at the next FOMC meeting in September. So let's dive on into the numbers. The first number I want to cover is what we call percentage of list. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price does the seller getting? And keep in mind, this does not take into consideration price reductions. It's based on the final list price in the MLS. So right now for July 2024, percentage of list was 98.28%. So if a seller lists their home in the MLS, they can anticipate they're going to get pretty close to the list price, but slightly below at 98.28%, which is good for buyers. It means that there's some room for negotiation, seller concessions, and some flexibility in that list price slightly compared to where we've been right after COVID, where percentage of list was above 100%. So again, percentage of list 98.28% for July 2024. This next I'm going to cover is what we call average days on market, or DOM for short, for single family homes. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, how long does it take from the time that you list until the time that it goes on under contract? It's called average days on market. And so for single family homes for July 2024, the average days on market was 20 days. And just to touch on a couple things, it's really important for a seller out there to run the comps and price your home correctly, because at the end of the day, overpricing your home is the detriment to any listing. It's going to sit in this market, and then buyers are going to begin to ask, what's wrong with this home? So you're better off pricing your home correctly, driving more demand, more interest to the home, and as a result, you can get that list price or maybe even slightly above if you do a good job pricing your home. If you're a buyer out there, pay attention to a comp, a CMA, and look at average days on market. And if a home is starting to exceed that, the number one reason typically is it means that it could be potentially overpriced. So days on market is a really key indicator for both buyers and sellers. And again, if you're a seller out there, if you price your home correctly, plus or minus, average days on market right now is 20 days in the MLS. So what are home values doing here in Tucson, Arizona? Let's cover the median home price for July 2024. If you go back and look at my April Tucson housing market report, I made a prediction that I didn't think the median home sales price for single family homes was going to surpass $400,000. At the time, we were sitting at $398,000 back for the April report. And I did a little survey and asked people as well what they thought. And it was a mixed bag, where about half thought that we would exceed that and the other half did not. But the number might surprise you. We have pulled back and the market started to slow down. So again, I still don't think that we're going to exceed $400,000 for the median home sales price for single family homes. So what's your take? So let's cover what's going on. Median home sales price, I'm going to do it for single family homes and then townhomes and condos. So right now for July 2024, the median home sales price, single family homes, $375,000. Year over year, we're down 0.8%. So we're kind of flat sideways for this year. But back in April, we're at $398,000. So we're down $23,000 in the last 3 to 4 months in terms of the median home sales price. So this market has pulled back and is starting to soften slightly, even though, average days on market still good. And so, homes are definitely selling, but people are not chasing the top end of this market. So like I talked about, average days on market, it's really crucial if you're a seller out there to pay attention and look at comps that are maybe 30, 60, 90 days max. Because if you go back to April, based on what's going on, that's the top end, and people are not chasing the top end of this market. Townhomes and condos, the median home sales price, $252,000, and again, down year over year, 7.5%. So in terms of home values, they have slightly pulled back. And again, the question is, are we going to exceed 400,000 based on what's going on? I don't think so. What's your take? Do you think we're going to continue to see a softening in the median home sales price? The next term I'm going to cover is what we call average dollar per square foot. And this is really, really helpful for sellers and buyers out there. So if you're a seller out there and you're getting ready to list your home, you want to have your agent run what we call a CMA, a comparative market analysis, and look at homes that are similar to yours in terms of square footage, bed, bath, pool, no pool, garage, 3-car, 2-car. So try to get that search pretty tight to what your home is, and then you're going to see closed sales, average dollar per square foot sold. So if you take that number and you multiply it by the square footage of your home, it's going to get a good estimate in terms of the value of your home based on other comparables sold. And again, I would look at maybe no longer than 90 days back. Anything longer than that, in my opinion, is not accurate. And again, people are not chasing the top end of this market. If you're a buyer out there, when you're getting ready to offer or looking at homes, pull comps and look at the average dollar per square foot sold, and then you're going to see active and pending as well. But you really want to look at those sold comps. So right now in the MLS for July 2024, the average dollar per square foot for single family homes was $238 a square foot. And for townhomes and condos, it was $229 a square foot. So it's real simple. Just take the average dollar per square foot, multiply it by your home square footage, and that's going to give you a really good estimate in terms of the value of your home, whether you're selling a home and whether you're buying a home, in terms of what that home could be potentially worth, what it would appraise for, and the offer that you want to make. The next area I'm going to cover is what we call months supply of inventory, and that is, if no other homes were to hit the market today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off? It's what is called month supply of inventory. And basically, it's a pretty easy number to calculate. You take the amount of inventory, you take it how many closed transactions happen for that month, divide that number, and you get month supply of inventory. So for July 2024, the month supply of inventory in the MLS was 2.64 months, or 80 days. So again, if no other homes were to hit the market today, all the inventory would be sold off in about 80 days. My favorite number, Home Inventory Economics 101. During COVID, inventory supply went down, demand went up, which caused double-digit appreciation rates. Well, that has definitely started to change. Home inventory levels are starting to tick up. We're more than double than from the lows of where we were. And that's where we're seeing, in my opinion, a softening in this market. And a lot of people are thinking this market's going to melt down. And in order for that to happen, we would need to see home inventory levels, in my opinion, more than double. But the good thing is there's a lot more inventory. There's more inventory for buyers to choose from. And again, because of more inventory, this market definitely is starting to slow down. And as I talked about, median home prices have pulled back slightly. So right now, July 2024, in all the MLS in Tucson, Arizona, there are 2,092 active listings. And I'm going to get this number wrong, but pretty close. During COVID at the lows, we were in like this high 600s. So again, inventory levels have substantially gone up since the lows of COVID. So breaking it all down, there's 1,659 single family homes, 157 townhomes, 157 condos, 92 manufactured homes, and 27 mobile homes. So again, this is a number that I look at and pay close attention to. And again, I get this question all the time is, are we going to see a big pullback in home values? And again, it all depends on home inventory. I don't think we're going to see a huge surge and a lot more home inventory spiking that number to cause home values to go down. There's just, again, if rates come down substantially, it could happen, because right now people are what I call rate locked, where they're at a high 2, low 3% rate, and they don't want to get off that rate to go buy another home and increase their payment. And also, in my opinion, the real estate market is broken right now because we're not getting that. Typically, somebody the first time home buyer, they buy a home, they stay in that home for 5 years or less, they have kids, they get a new job, they're making more money, and then they buy up. Well, that buy up is no longer happening because of home values dramatically going up, interest rates going up, and they just can't afford that. So we're not getting that extra inventory cycling back into the market. So again, rates pulling back could be a good thing to unstick this market, because from closed transaction sales, closed sales have been cut in half. And there's a lot of reasons why: interest rates, and again, just with home values going up, people are staying put and they're not moving up to that next move up. So right now, things are somewhat broken, but again, rates going down and home values pulling back could solve that challenge. The last number I'm going to cover is price reductions. And since the beginning of me doing my market updates, I was not covering this number because they weren't giving us the statistic. And TAR, the Tucson Association, just recently switched over to a new vendor, and we're now getting price reductions in terms of our monthly statistics. So I'm going to go over some numbers. So right now, active in the MLS, 45% of all active listings have done a price reduction. And from the time that they list until they actually do that price reduction is 16 days. And the average percent of the price reduction is 6.3%. So my guess is people are wanting to test the top end of the market, thinking they could potentially get it, and they're not getting it, and it's crickets. They're not getting any activity in terms of showings. And so 45% of all active listings right now have done a price reduction. And so in terms of July 2024, for closed transactions, there were 290 price reductions, which makes up for 37% of all closed transactions in July did a price reduction for 5.4%. And this goes back to the median home sales price. And if you're a seller out there, again, I would encourage you to not overprice your home. It's the detriment to any listing. So I would look at the comps, and if not, you're going to be doing a price reduction, and people then begin to wonder what's going on with this home. And if you start to do price reductions, the perception is, let's write a lower offer and see if we can get a deal. And if you're a buyer out there, pay attention to average days on market, because the stats right here say, after the 16th day, if they're not getting what they want, 45% are doing a price reduction. So this is pretty helpful information in terms of price reductions, being able to price your home correctly. And depending on what side of the fence you're on, buyer or seller, in my opinion, good information. Well, let's wrap up this video. So just to summarize some things, the market, homes are selling, and if priced right, average days on market 20 days. So the key here is pricing your home correctly. And being an election year, heading into the fourth quarter of this year, I look back on last election, the fourth quarter of the last one, I had quite a few listings and even buyers that started to just say, hey, let's put the brakes on. I want to wait to see what the next administration looks like and what the direction of our country is. So there are some people that will sit on the sidelines, and I did a survey on YouTube asking that question. If you're looking to buy, are you going to buy now or are you going to wait till after the election? And it was somewhat surprising. I thought more people would actually want to wait, but it was about 50-50. But again, there are quite a few people that just are going to be patient and wait. So if you're a seller out there, it's really crucial in this market to price your home correctly. If you're a buyer out there, I would encourage you just to be patient, especially if you're an FHA or a VA buyer. You've got a little money down, no money in reserves. At the end of the day, if this market pulls back and you're upside down in your home, that is no fun. So you want to save up enough money to weather the storm. So I would encourage you just to stay put, because I think you're going to have some really good opportunities and options and more homes to look at. So that is what's going on here in the Tucson housing market for July of 2024. I just want to say thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you got value out of the Tucson housing market update, do me a huge favor. Give me an internet high five by liking the video. If you've got any questions or comments, go ahead and comment below, but I'm curious your take where we're going to end up at the end of the year for the median home sales price. We're going flat. Are we going to go down, sideways, or up? Let me know what your thoughts are. And for more awesome videos for Tucson real estate, you can subscribe to the channel. If you hit that bell button each and every time a video comes out, you're going to be notified. And right here at the end of this, YouTube's going to serve up another video that you might find interesting. In the meantime, make it a great day. Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's why you need a local Tucson expert real estate partner. With all the exciting reasons you have for buying a home, one of the biggest reasons is it can dramatically increase your family's wealth. So whether you're looking to purchase your first home, your next home, a second home, an investment property, or maybe you want to sell your home, choosing an experienced real estate expert to help you will make it a smooth and easy process. And choosing the right realtor can make the difference of more money in your pocket after closing. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned investor, or maybe just interested in knowing what your home's worth, contact Tyler Ford and Team today. Call Tyler Ford and Team today at 520-775-3400. That's 520-775-3400.